It's that gonk backbeat going on. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is the Battlefront Livestream podcast, for lack of a better name. Called a podcast not because it is a podcast per se, but because, like a podcast, the focus is more on the discussion and the ideas coming through more so. There's a cat behind me there. More so than being about the gameplay itself much of the time, particularly when guests are on here with me. This time, no guest, and a very short stream. I just basically want to run through some of the changes just made in the new July 21st, 2016 update to the game, which includes some new modes for those who want to play offline or those who want to play co-op with a buddy sitting beside them on the couch or who like playing against AI instead of human players, and a new hut contract that has been made available. So the first thing you'll notice here, I guess I should introduce myself. I am Nathan P. Butler. You are watching my channel here. This is where you'll find things like Let's Play videos for the Disney Infinity Star Wars play sets, or for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, which I just finished the live streaming of the main story. We're about to do more live streams to do Let's Plays for the 6 additional adventures and such, and then eventually the level packs when they're released. You can find on this channel also from the Star Wars Home Video Library, my Star Wars vlog, The Voice of Reason or Lack Thereof, as it's called. You can find the 2 podcasts I'm involved with, Star Wars Beyond the Films with Mark Herleman and Cloud City Casino with Michael Morris, both on StarWarsReport.com, and also I'll be appearing on an upcoming, very near upcoming episode of the flagship podcast for that site, The Star Wars Report, where we'll be talking about the experience of learning things from Celebration Europe from the couch, basically from back home in the United States, watching what's going on, and impressions of a lot of the new stuff. That'll have me, Tom from Ion Cannon, Mark Herleman, my partner from Star Wars Beyond the Films, and Michael Morris, my partner from Cloud City Casino, all on the same podcast talking about that stuff. Of course, also, you can find my Star Wars Gold, the most comprehensive Star Wars chronology available anywhere, over at StarWarsFanWorks.com/timeline. So when last we met, I haven't really played much since then. I had 6 star cards from the original game still to upgrade at 7,000 each. And, not star cards, and in appearances, I had just got the Wing Guard unlocked. We saw a little bit of play with the Wing Guard, and had just unlocked the Shock Trooper. We saw a little bit of gameplay with the Shock Trooper. Again, the Shock Trooper is basically the same skin that you would have had if you were playing as a guard with somebody who had played as Palpatine previously, and then whenever they updated things for the Bespin DLC and made this an unlockable skin, they replaced those Shock Troopers with Palpatine with Royal Guards, which makes a whole lot more sense. We have a new hut contract in play, though. They do not, let's see, nope, they still have not fixed the issue with some of the hut contracts not reading correctly. This one has been completed, but it's still reading only 13 out of 30 kills with pistols on blast. The scattergun one is still not showing right, so both of those will probably still show up in my post-game listing as if they haven't been done. I really wish they'd fix that shit, because that's annoying as hell. But we have a new, just one new notice, one new contract that was added on the 21st. And that is Pistolier. That's Pistolier as in weapon type, as opposed to a Pist-Tolier, person named Tolier. Aren't there some Toliers in Marvel Comics? We have Pistolier for 3,500, not 8,000, because it is a base level. It is not an upgraded star card. Presumably we'll get an upgraded star card version of this later. So for 3,500, I will get the contract here. And it's going, and again, contracts, hut contracts, you pay the money up front, you get the contract, you do whatever is listed. Once you finish doing what's listed, then you get whatever it is, instead of just buying it outright or earning it and then buying it. So it's kind of like, again, going to McDonald's, paying them your money for your value meal, and before they'll give it to you, you go clean the bathroom, you come back, and then they give you your freaking food. In this case, it's get 15 kills with a scout pistol and get 25 kills with a DL-18. So I want to make sure that I've switched my loadout over to that. If I can navigate correctly here. It's one of the ones I haven't upgraded yet. And then DL-18, which is the so-called Luke pistol from Return of the Jedi, which isn't really a Luke pistol so much as it was the guard's pistol that he stole. It's much more accurate probably to say that that is Kanan's pistol from Rebels, because he's using it from the outset. Hey, Creepin' Ender. Hey, LEGO fan. We're basically just going to hit a little bit of the new modes here, a little bit on the new hut contract during the brief breaks, hit the various things from the most recent patch notes, and then be out of here. This will be a relatively quick item here. All right, so before we do any multiplayer stuff, Usually, if you're wanting to play single player or co-op, you're playing the so-called missions, which includes training, which is basically just learning the different mechanics. Would have been nice to know the invasion mechanics prior to the beta, because nobody knew how to bring down a walker correctly, it seemed like, in the beta. Battles, which is basically you against the AI, or you and a friend going up against it. Or going up against each other. That can be regular battles or hero battles. Hero battles involve playing as the hero. Regular ones you play as a soldier. And then you have survival, where you're going through and you're basically playing against waves. But notice the way that these worked in the past. For instance, this is survival on Tatooine. You set your difficulty level. You set online co-op, local co-op, solo play. There is no XP being gained at all when you play this mode. And you can earn credits, but you only earn credits the first time that you pull off one of these stars, like finishing on normal, finishing on a hard, whatever. So it's not a good place to necessarily get credits, not a good place to necessarily get XP, because you won't get any. It's just another thing you could do outside of here, right? Outside of playing multiplayer. Katie, I'll see if I can swing around to it if we got time. Then you also have the same thing in battles, right? No XP, but you have stars where you can earn stuff. And beyond that, the only thing that these really do for us is unlock some things in the diorama, which again is a pretty lame set of unlockables that you barely ever pay attention to. They say that it's the ultimate way of showing your mastery, but people don't usually look at each other's profiles to see what diorama pieces you have, so what's the point? Well, now we have skirmish, right? 1-player or 2-player co-op in Walker Assault and Fighter Squadron. And you notice it says 40 players. That's because aside from you and the other player, the other 38 or 39 in this case are going to basically just be bots. They're going to be AI. So let's say we do Walker Assault. I'm not going to do an entire match because that would drive me insane. But I'm curious. Well, maybe because I want to see what the let's do Fighter Squadron instead. I want to see what the XP and such works out as, if you get any at all. So we'll do Outpost Beta. We have online versus or local versus, so you're not able to play together if you are playing with another player. So if you want to play this as co-op, not going to happen. It's just versus, which is kind of disappointing. And you have your different levels. I'm assuming normal is going to have stupid bots, which is the case in a lot of cases with like survival and whatnot. The AI isn't very intricate for the basic level, but we'll see. There we go. XZ, I'm of the belief that Thrawn's going to have to be gone before Gallius Rax can be around. Unless somehow Rax is like his protege or something, because you can't have two characters that are essentially identical in their tactical prowess, etc., in the story at the same time, or it dilutes them both. So I'm thinking that we won't see Thrawn in any era in which Gallius Rax exists. At least in storytelling. I mean, he exists in the background previously. All right, so pick a type. Let's go with the... who do we want? We'll go with Galactic Empire. And, no, screw that shit. I forgot I was playing Fighter Squadron. Notice no option for Cloud Car because we're not on Bespin. Keep forgetting which one I was playing. So here we are.
My scope shows enemy fighters victory in.
Notice I do have a full team on my side. It's just that the other 19 players on my team aren't actually players. The other 19 are just straight up... they're straight up AI. And wow, it feels like I'm moving very slowly. I wonder if that's possible. I wonder if they've made it so that the actual gameplay is actually slower. Wow, it feels really, really sluggish. I don't know if that's just me, because I'm used to some other stuff I've been playing recently, but it feels like I'm flying through molasses, as opposed to flying through mole asses, which is a whole different thing, and not something you really want to try to do. There we go. You think you're gonna die? I noticed that there aren't any stars on that menu screen coming in, so I'm not entirely sure how that works. Now, and it's also interesting, I guess, it's giving me... It's giving me names for the characters getting killed, even though they're not, you know, bots. Their names, as Lego Fan says, they're from the previous Battlefront games as a nod. No! Man, it's so freaking slow, good lord! Is there any way that you could possibly speed up your flight? Even at full speed, it's like do 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 do. It's really sad. Yeah. Looking for ties. Looking for ties. Hello, where's the bad guy? Oh my goodness! And it just seriously just lagged. I haven't run into lag, particularly on fighter squadrons, since switching to the new internet speed. And this is something that's being played, I would believe, offline, with the exception of just having logged into the EA account to keep track of your stats. So why is it lagging when you're in friggin' bot mode? That's pretty lame. Oh yeah, you're talking about the, Creeping, you're talking about the end of Season 2, or right near the end of Season 2. No, that stirred up a little bit of controversy because it meant that in, for the Legends continuity, they had to sort of backtrack and retcon and say that wasn't actually Django's real helmet that got destroyed in the follow-up episode. And then they had to turn around. Well, in canon, of course, that is supposed to be it. So no, he must not be wearing Django's helmet later. It must be one he gets some other way. It's like, oh, come on. I always thought it'd be funnier if whenever he picks up Django's helmet in Attack of the Clones, if the head fell out. But you sort of see the head bounce away whenever the helmet hits the ground in the first place. Da-dup, da-dup, da-dup. So slow. And to answer Lego Fan, yes, I saw it, and I love the amusement factor. Of course, it turns out that the booing was organized. The booing was not spur of the moment. It was actually somebody going out and trying to make sure that there was booing. But I love the idea of the, vote your conscience, stand for the Constitution, stand for freedom, and then Trump supporters are like, boo! You're like, wait a second. Basically, he didn't say anything against your candidate. So by saying boo, aren't you tacitly acknowledging that your candidate is not going to be good on your conscience and not going to be good for freedom or the Constitution? Maybe you should rethink your choice. But whatever. I love the bipartisanship. I love the fact that Democrats and Republicans are working together for once. And what do I mean by that? I mean that by nominating Donald Trump, the Republicans have just basically guaranteed Hillary Clinton the presidency. They're working together for once. Wait, I don't think that's what they were trying to do. I mean, they're both going to be horrible, but, you either get Clinton or you get a Clinton donor. Either one. We need to regroup. That's all right. That means I can just sit back and mock both sides relentlessly and, wait for the election itself and then get to quote the promo for Aliens versus Predator all the time. Whoever wins, we lose. All right. As for books to or I guess I should say graphic novels to recommend. Kenny, are you talking about graphic novels to recommend from Legends or from the current new canon continuity? Because that would change what my answers would be.
Here come their air defenses. Weapons hot.
This is taking forever. It's also very unbalanced. Notice here, because the Empire only has only has bots to play with. Well, there's a hero power-up. Or there it is. I'm thinking usually when I'm playing Fighter Squadron, the first thing I think of is going after the hero token, but playing with the bots, I hadn't thought about it.
Destroy that enemy ship.
Okay. Oh, I almost hit the ground there. Alright, let's go blow some shit up. And there we go. Wasn't letting me control anything. Gosh! Oh, and the Millennium Falcon moves even slower. Good Lord. I'm assuming it's to train people. But if you're going to use this as a mode to train people by having it all go more slowly, you really should have had this mode in the game since the outset, instead of making this a new mode that you just added, like, over 6 months into the game's lifespan. Just saying.
We let their ship slip through our fingers. Turn around. Get back.
There you go. It blows up, and that was not Boba Fett's name that showed up there. That would have been kind of cool, but no. Or something like Finn Scheisser or something. Like someone who's kind of the wannabe Fett. That's the what if Fett was a good guy from Marvel. And, let's see. So now you said graphic novels, though, right? So for the new stuff, I could really only particularly recommend Shattered Empire and Darth Vader. Any of the Darth Vader ones, though. If you're going to read Vader, you kind of got to read the regular Star Wars series alongside it, because they do intertwine to some extent, and then there's the crossover Vader Down, which was not all that great either, but whatever. But the Vader series is good, if only for the characters of Dr. Aphra and 000 with the droid BT-1. What was his name? And then, let's see, from Legends, personally, my favorites are the Tales of the Jedi stuff, Legacy, and that's Legacy Volume 1, not Volume 2. Volume 2 was very lackluster for me. And then, what else would I recommend? Maybe Dawn of the Jedi. And of course, I would recommend checking out Star Wars Tales number 21 to check out that quick Kyle Katarn and Jan Orr story, Equals and Opposites, by yours truly, because how could I avoid a chance to self-promote?
Transport is safely out of firing range.
Die! Friggin' I die! There we go. Oh, this is really... Wow. I mean, I guess I could see how somebody would find this fun. And I guess I could see how maybe playing with another player in local versus, playing against each other and being able to, like, blow each other up in the middle of the match and turn and mock each other. I guess that would sort of be fun. But in general, this is not any fun at all for me. Hello, Duros. Notice, that's a Duros, not an Amori. They branched off far too long ago to be considered the same series, or the same species. Gotta make Wii sounds to make it sound like there's any fun to playing this mode. Holy crap. I mean, I think this would be a good mode for people like Mark, my partner from Beyond the Films, because he wanted to be able to play alongside his kid. But then you can't play against regular other human beings. It would just be those two versus each other with bots on each other's team. So, I mean, you can't really gripe too much about free content unless it breaks something else. But, damn, you know. Hello, More Geek Be Like, MGBL. That's MGBL as opposed to LGBT, which is a whole nother thing. Come on! Two minutes, 2.5 minutes of this crap still to go. Yay! That's all that's left. I mean, I don't know. I failed to see purpose. XZ, right now I would say Jason, because Jason has more depth and backstory. But I mean, we haven't had a chance to really get much of Kylo Ren, so it's possible he may eventually surpass Jason. It's just that Jason's got a lot more backstory at this point. He's got, you know, I mean, the character was born in, what, 93's Last Command? So, I mean, we're talking about a lot of backstory, whereas Kylo Ren's had less than a year to get much in the way of backstory. And we probably won't get full backstory and further major depth with him until we get more films, because he's a primary player within the new trilogies, or new trilogy. Okay, going back around.
You are way out of line.
I don't care. Okay, one more minute. Which would fall under another reason why this is kind of meh. Because, of course, they changed it recently. Actually, I wonder if it's still... I wonder how many kills you need to actually finish up one of these modes and whether or not it's even possible to really get to it. So, let's see. Smack. 34, 32... Are you still playing? Oh. La, la, la. Burn up these last 20 seconds. Yes, more than likely. Because even in the 80s, back when Lucas was still talking about 9 films, after talking about 1, then 12, starting with A New Hope, and then 9, and then 6. I mean, talking about that, wow, #1 out of, you know, nothing but bots. Now is the moment of truth. Is there any XP gained from this? Which I doubt, but it's possible. I'm hoping we have a way for single-player players and co-op players to actually get XP instead of playing just the other modes. Okay, so hit X. No! Oh, wow. So not only do you apparently not get XP unless they just don't show it, so your points are essentially meaningless unless you're playing against another player. But there's no credits seemingly awarded, and there aren't any stars to earn to get credits, even for that limited amount you can get on the other modes meant for single-player or co-op. Holy crap, that's awful. And I would assume Walker Assault will be the same way. Great. Deep breaths, deep breaths, deep breaths. I'm not sure I want to spend the time it would take to go into a full Walker Assault, but let's make sure that Walker Assault has the same kind of setup here. Yeah. Local co-op, online co-op. At least in this case, it is actually co-op. So Fighter Squadron forces you into versus. You can't play co-op in Fighter Squadron for skirmish. If you want to play together, you're playing Walker Assault. But you do have the option of online versus local co-op for that, the different difficulty modes, and the solo play. But again, no listing there of things to get stars, so presumably no XP, no credits. So if you're trying to progress at all in this game, which is tough enough as it is, given the fact that the game's progression is ungodly slow unless it's double XP weekend, there's absolutely no point in playing skirmish. Skirmish is for the few times you want to actually play with somebody sitting beside you on the couch, and that is it. I would highly recommend avoiding skirmish if you're wanting progression, because you're just going to be spinning your wheels. There'll be no actual progression being made there. At least in missions, if you were to knock out some of those stars, you're at least getting credits that you can spend towards stuff for later, even if you're not getting XP. But yeah, skirmish doesn't even give you that, which is kind of ridiculous. So, thanks for playing along with it. Yeah, okay. I don't care. Got it anyway. Let me see what the challenges even are. Win a match, which also doesn't count in skirmish. I gotta get one more blaster rifle kill. Is the gun that I just had to pull a blaster rifle? No, it is not. So let me get one kill with my now nerfed EE4, and then I'll start on the HUD contract stuff. All right. Pretty much. Well, I mean, it's for people who don't have on. I guess part of it is that because there are modes that don't require being online, technically. There's a whole EA account issue, but since you don't technically have to be online, they sold this game that is basically 90% multiplayer without telling people you had to basically be online to be able to play most anything from it. So, given that, I guess adding more content like that is a good thing because to some extent it's going to alleviate the frustration for those who bought the game thinking that they didn't need PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live Gold to be able to use it. But yeah. I have noticed, I've heard a lot of things. I haven't actually seen myself, but I've heard a lot of instances of people playing Walker Assault with the bots, and the bots will be standing next to the things to activate and won't actually activate them. So, again, kind of a you gotta be kidding me sort of thing. But let's go ahead and knock out that one contract, that one challenge, maybe two, and start on the HUT contract. And for the most part here, just want to get through the patch notes for you. So general patch notes, they added skirmish, which you've already looked at. They increased the spawning checks made for partners from 2 seconds to 1 second, but they've also made it so that if an enemy is within 10 meters instead of 2, you won't be able to spawn on your partner, which makes it harder to spawn on the partner, although less likely to spawn on them and immediately die, which, I guess is good. They fixed some basic bugs and some team balancing issues. The pre-round timer has moved from 60 seconds to 90 seconds, so they've kind of increased that again after decreasing it. Lots of spawn tweaks and stuff like that to try to make the Cloud City maps a little more balanced. Let's see. I'm trying to find the main big things. They have, for the weapons, they've basically made the Night Sniper a little bit better. They've made the Relby a little bit better. The DT-12 a little bit better, DLT-44 a little bit better. They have slightly nerfed the EE-4, which is what I'm running with at this point. Disruption has been tweaked to be a little more fair. And they tweaked the scout binoculars, but it wasn't really to tweak them so much as they just tweaked the scout binoculars, in order to make it, to fix some bugs, is all that they really did. As for the heroes, they have buffed Lando, buffed Dengar, fixed some bugs with Boba, and tweaked Han Solo's damage reduction distance just a tiny bit. And nowhere in their patch notes, their official patch notes, do they ever say anything about how they, added a new HUT contract, which is kind of funny, because that's one of the things they actually announced ahead of time. Next time we're in the midst of a break, I'll let you know what the new event calendar is that they have posted. I didn't feel like this set of patch notes really needed the kind of heavy focus that we've done on some previous streams, just because it's mostly minor tweaks, barring the additions we're already looking at. I don't care! Oh, crap! The force is to be used for knowledge and defense, never for attack, you asshole! Why are you gonna just punch me down as soon as you see me? Yoda would be so upset. See if I can... Well, nope. I want to get at least one kill in with the blaster rifle so I can get rid of that challenge. I don't really care about the object of the match. I'm playing the millennial way, which is the I'm focused on myself. Also known as the there we go. Ah! Also known as the toddler way. Where do you got a list plate based on psychology, but whatever. Whatever. Whoa! Actually, no, I need to switch weapons here so I can start that contract. So, in the words of Adam Sandler, somebody killed me, please. Wow, match is over. That was quick. Okay, so that took care of that challenge. I'm assuming it's going to show me those 2 hut contracts that are actually done that they haven't been able to count correctly on the screen. I'm assuming that's a bug that they still haven't friggin' fixed. 10K? Okay. Yep. Still showing Slug Thrower and Rhodium Blaster. They're both done. They've been done. But they still have it screwed up so that the counter that wasn't tracking correctly on the screen, even though you've unlocked it, still affects what you see in the after action screen. Okay. Try this again. Nah, I'll just change it when I go into the actual match. Extraction. Haven't actually played Extraction in a while because I haven't been playing the Outer Rim playlist. And I need the DL-18 so that I can work on the contract. Again, the starting, notice that the match starting is much slower. Because the match starting has now been boosted up to 90 seconds instead of 60. So, fun.
No!
The only downside of playing as the wing guard guy is that it takes away the ongoing joke. For those who've watched the stream before, the weak way, if you do the no, he basically says no butthole, which makes it sound like he's saying that he doesn't have an anus, or he's claiming somebody else doesn't have an anus. You don't get that kind of amusement with the wing guard. He just says no. Ah. Now I remember why I don't like this weapon, because it is very slow. Very low fire rate. Very low. Alright, let's go around. Where'd I spawn? I spawned back in that spot. Okay.
The shipment is in motion.
Always in motion is the shipment. That's something I got to get back to. At some point, I need to go back to making the audio dramas. I've been wanting to do the new Always in Motion for a while, like the Choose Your Own Adventure audio drama thing, because I made the one back in the day, but it's been a long time. Way too long. There, get another charge. Why not? I'm already at 99. Might as well get another one and stay on that 99 where it's actually more like 100 plus.
Ah! He ran away!
Come on, I must kill you for the contract. I'm getting lots of charges out of it, not doing any good as far as helping me on the contract. There we go! One toward the contract. Assist. They did tweak it also now so that assists don't count as kills towards your challenges and whatnot. They had changed it at one point so that assists actually gave you points, or more points. But when they did, they made it so that it also counted toward the contract. And the end result was that it was making it a little bit faster to do the contracts or the challenges than they actually apparently wanted it to be. So the end result was that they eventually changed it. They dumped it. Now they've tweaked it back so they've still got the boost of the one, but not the other. Gonna go up and kill someone. In theory, if they haven't been killed from long distance already.
9-Num will provide support during this operation.
And gone. Now, if I jump, I'm gonna die because, well, no, I can just use the jump pads. There we go. that squad shield going. They still haven't quite fixed the thing where the interact points only show up when you can actually interact. They still have a little bit of a distance issue with it. There we go, that's another one. Boba Fett, up there!
Keep that shipment moving, people.
Another one for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Battles this way.
Oh, that's ours, okay. And nada. Let's hit 0 zilch. Whoa! That didn't work. Smoke by Boba Fett again. You're saying it has not done an auto assign of partner. Huh.
Carry on, but stay
It's
alert.
supposed to do that now. Unless they broke it with this patch after just adding it in the last major patch. This isn't Tryon World, and this isn't Bungie, so you would figure they wouldn't have broken something with the previous, directly from the previous patch in this patch, but it's possible. Smokey in the face.
That's the end of Boba Fett.
Suppressing fire there.
Stay focused. Stormtroopers
There's
nearby.
another one. Never do tend to run with the scout pistol.
Our spies are telling
But
us
the
Vader
contract
is
calls
nearby.
for it,
Be alert.
so I want to do the contract. There's no choice. And at this point, I've got all the other contracts done except for this new one. So, and I've maxed out at 70. So, unless I'm just gonna run and grind XP to upgrade the last 6 star cards I've got that aren't upgraded yet, there wouldn't be a whole lot of point to play.
We got stormtroopers in the area.
And around the side. Rectos.
This place is crawling with hostiles.
The Imperials have stopped the shipment's progress.
Ah, I missed him. Do some push-ups? What? Damn. At least I got him with the DL8. I'm at 17% done with the contract. That's something that'd be nice if they added, the ability to actually go here, just like you can see where your challenges stand, to be able to actually go and see where your HUT contracts stand in detail. Instead, it just gives you a percentage, but there's no indication of where that percentage has come from, what's left of each type of thing, especially if it's a... I mean, most of these contracts have 2 to 3 different things you have to do,
The shipment has stopped.
you know, to finish cleaning the bathroom at McDonald's and actually get the crap that you paid for.
Enemies ahead.
Ah, couldn't aim at anybody. Oh, dead from Dioxis. Again, still feel like the spawn
We're in
points on
control
most
of
of the
the
big
ship
map
and stay
modes are
close
just
to
a
it.
little too far apart. Most of the time. At least on the objective-based modes. Oh! Smoking the scout pistol. Somebody else probably working on the same contract. It's the other way around up there. This way, I think. Ah, crap. Alright, fine. Ah, nope, didn't last long enough. Did not last long enough. Ah, there we go. Turn it on, 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 turn it on. There you go. Activate the shield, activate the shield. All right. There we go. Get this damn thing running again. Stay like that. And victory! Win a match challenge is done. Let's see where the contract stays. And that'll pretty much be it. As I said, just try to do a quick one here. Give you a chance to see the different modes, the new mode that was added, run through the patch notes. As promised, though, this is what their new event schedule looks like, according to EA. No more events scheduled for July. In August, the weekend of August 19th through 21st, they're going to do a Bespin open trial. So if somebody doesn't have Bespin, they'll be able to play it. There'll be a new hut contract on August 30th. My thought process is probably going to be an upgraded version of the one that we just got, since the one we just got is just the base white level, not the black background level, but could be something else. It does say hut contract singular, though. There'll be another Bespin open trial September 12th through 18th. At some point in mid to early September, we are getting the Death Star DLC with Chewie and Bosk and more fighter squadron stuff, including in space and all that kind of stuff. They have not given an exact date for that for Season Pass holders or otherwise, but presumably it'll be like mid-month for everybody, early month, early September, even end of August for everybody else who has a Season Pass, because you get the Bespin open trial the 12th through the 18th for basically a week. In September, and then on September 23rd through 25th, another weekend, they have a Death Star double score weekend, and they generally will do that the weekend after. So if that's the 23rd to 25th, let's see what that would mean. If I can find my little calendar app here. So if we're talking September 23rd through 25th is going to be, that's August, I don't want August, is going to be their double points weekend. Then more than likely that means that Death Star will drop for non-season pass holders on the 20th, which would likely mean that it'll be September 6th, the day after Labor Day, when those who have the season pass are likely to wind up getting Death Star, which fits their idea of it being a September release here, for what it's worth. But that's all they've got on the live event schedule right now, so don't expect any more double XP weekends where the game actually feels like it's progressing at a rational pace anytime until September. But they do have a couple of smaller events between now and then. Last thing to check is where the hut contract stands. The new one, at least. The only one that's left to do. 22%. We have 4 out of 14 kills with the Scout Pistol, 5 out of 25 kills with the DL-18. So that'll be a relatively fast one to do. Next match I play will get me up past the 7,000 mark, give me a chance to upgrade one of those 6-star cards that are left that I haven't upgraded, probably Scout Pistol, just to help out on knocking out the contract. But that should do it. As far as future... Death Star is September, because December is going to be the final DLC, Rogue One Scarif. That's going to have Jyn Erso and Director Krennic as the 2 heroes you can play as, and introduce the planet Scarif into the mix. So the season pass essentially runs out once we get to December. But that'll wrap us up here. Let me take it back to the menu. As for upcoming live streams, my guess is probably not another Battlefront live stream for a little while, unless I get Mark or Michael on with me and we do the discussion the normal way, just because there's not much really to talk about until we get to the end of August and they introduce that other HUT contract. So next live streams, probably we're looking at more, at least a handful more of the Let's Plays for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens as we go through those 6 added adventures and eventually the DLC level packs as they come out. Beyond that, I'm going to start shifting my work time mostly to working on the Star Wars Timeline Gold because I want to get this year's new edition ready to go, and it's been somewhat neglected at this point. But it'll be ready, hopefully, if not in August. I'm looking at more like doing another anniversary one and releasing it on its 19th anniversary, which would be mid-October. All right, so Katie. Last answer here, the issue of Tales to get if you want to get my story. I mean, it's kind of old, so whether or not you'll be able to find it's a little tricky, but there's 3 places that you can find it. It's called Equals and Opposites. It's in Star Wars Tales 21, so you've got either an art cover or a photo cover, or photoshopped cover, I call it, where you can find that. It's probably easiest these days to find in the trade paperback Star Wars Tales Volume 6. And if you really want to go all out and find it, you can find that story just by itself as a comic in the Hasbro comic pack that has Kyle Katarn and the Yuuzhan Vong Warrior in it. So there's different ways that you can get it. If you're just trying to check out the story, I believe that Star Wars Tales 21 is now available as part of Marvel Unlimited if you do that, and it's available digitally, as is, I think, the Volume 6 trade paperback version through Comixology now that Marvel has the license and is reprinting a bunch of Dark Horse stuff through there. So that's the best way to find it. Speaking of other stuff to find, if you're looking for the podcast that I'm involved with, you can find me discussing canon and legend stories and whatnot with my partner Mark Herleman on Star Wars Beyond the Films. You can find us talking about gaming and whatnot, which is more apropos to this. Me and Michael Morris over on Cloud City Casino. Both of those podcasts are both on StarWarsReport.com. You can find my Star Wars Timeline Gold, the most comprehensive Star Wars chronology available anywhere, which does have basically annual releases at this point. You can find that over on StarWarsFanWorks.com/timeline. And, of course, on this channel, you'll find the Let's Plays for things like LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens, the Disney Infinity Star Wars play sets. You can find my vlog, The Voice of Reason or Lack Thereof, my various series like from the Star Wars Home Video Library, the Fantasy Flight Games reviews, and so on and so on and so on. So I'll be back sometime probably around Tuesday or so with the next Let's Play for LEGO Star Wars The Force Awakens. Probably not anything from Battlefront, minus maybe one at some point if I can get one of the other guys on. Between now and the end of August, but as soon as they get another big set of patch notes, a big update, or that new HUT contract, I will, of course, be back to let you know. So, as always, thank you all for watching. Check out those other things if you like. Subscribe if you like. I just enjoy the conversation, and have a good one.